Hi everyone, welcome back to Scrapping Scotland. My name's Mark, I am the Scottish Scrapper. You have tuned in to Scrapping Scotland. Out in the shed again this evening, doing a little bit of scrapping. Had some really good pickups recently, so I thought I would do a little scrap down for you guys this evening. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to tear down a couple of old music amplifiers, old stereo amplifiers. Nowadays, if you do a lot of scrapping of microwaves, you'll find that the transformers in those microwaves are now becoming aluminium all the time. Used to be copper, but now, more often than not, in fact, probably 20 out of 21, you're going to get an aluminium transformer and not copper. So where are we going to find all the transformers that contain copper still? Well, a fantastic source of finding those transformers are amplifiers. So today I've got two that I'm going to tear down, and here they are. So we've got this Pioneer, lovely model. If you were to buy this, you'd probably be paying, don't know, about £120, £100, something like that. I'm not reselling it, I'm breaking it down. I don't resell items, guys, I just break them down, I tear them down and I resell the metals. So this Pioneer VSX LX51, and the bottom one is a Sherwood. What's the model number? It's RD6103R. So I'm going to tear both of these down and we're going to see what we get out of stereo amplifiers. So this is the back of the Sherwood. As you can see, lots of screws in this. I'm going to have to go through and get all these screws out. And exactly 30 screws later, this is what it looks like with no screws left. However, that's number 31. And that is one dusty looking board. So as you can see, there's a nice big transformer, although it is extremely dusty. There's our board, a couple of copper coils. I've got a couple of aluminium heat sinks. The rest of the boards aren't high value in these things. I'm hoping that top piece there is also all aluminium, is a bit of a heat sink. Again, we'll get all this stuff out and we'll have a closer look at it. Okay, first little board released. Not a great deal on there at the moment. A couple of IC chips. Our second board. Again, not a great deal of value there. One little crystal oscillator. This will probably be brass, but we can check that later. Little diode on there as well. Okay, so here's our next board. This is kind of the biggest board in here. Again, not an awful lot here. These connectors all here, they're all brass, so you can recover the brass from them. We've got a couple of IC chips, we've got some insulated wire, and we've got a couple of aluminium heat sinks that have got MOSFETs attached to them. So we've got a little bit of value. We've got a couple of copper coils here, as you can see, nice little copper coils. and we've got a little relay switch here as well. So we have a little bit of value in this board. Got a little board here which has a little transformer that has still got metal fins on that one, a couple of fuses in there, little MOSFET, and we've also got our relay switch on this one as well. So flip it over, and as you can see we've got 4 screws here that hold the transformer in place. Couple of screws to get out here as well while we are in this position. Okay, that has released our transformer, as you can see. Nice copper banding going around this as well. Looking inside it, I don't see the copper wire. There we go, I can see the copper wire on this side. All looks really nice. We definitely can see some inside here as well. So we'll stick this one aside at the moment, and we will weigh this up before we take it apart. If you can see behind here, all these MOSFETs are all attached to this board, so I'm going to have to cut all them out. Okay, still a couple of wires to clean up on this one. And we've got a little copper coil here and a little copper coil here. And we've got lots of these little diodes. See these little black things here? These are all diodes. So you keep them as well for silver and gold recovery. So now we'll undo our MOSFETs. And there we are. There is our heatsink. We've got our magnet here. As you can see, not magnetic. We've got a couple of steel brackets there, which we'll get off. Nice big chunk of aluminium. Okay, there's our facing plate. That's all plastic. We've got all the metal out of there. Here's our board with lots of little switches. We've got our wire, we've got our audio plugs here, and these are all gold plated. And as I say, just a bit of wire to clean up on that. Okay, and there's our bottom plate, and that's just for the shred. Okay, so there's our goodies from the first amplifier. We've got our aluminium. We've got a transformer, we've got a couple of relay switches, we've got our little copper coils, we've got our insulated wire, and there we've got our MOSFETs. Amp number 2. So as you can see, this is a big boy. Take a long time to get these screws out, so with the power of YouTube and the magic that YouTube provides, voila, no screws left. So now we can get the lid off this one. Okay, a big shred top plate. Let's have a look inside this one. So, top board's kind of hiding everything, but as you can see the back here, got a little board, a couple of fuses, got MOSFETs again attached to this, got another board in here with some fuses, multiple fuses, 4 fuses in here. We've got this lovely big transformer. Down this side we have another transformer, and then we definitely have boards underneath for copper coils, and again we'll have this big aluminium heatsink. So let's start getting this one apart, guys. Okay, here's our first couple of boards. So apart from the IC chips, a little cross crystal oscillator, and then these brass ends. Not a lot of value in that one. And really same with that one. Couple of little IC chips, little brass ends on these. Couple of IC chips on the back, not a great deal. Pins aren't even gold plated, which is not the greatest. Okay, next board, pretty much the same as the last one. Dark brown board, some IC chips on the back. Really all these brass ends are real only value here. Next one, another brown board. Again, they're not the greatest of boards, but there is a lot of them. Be held in with these little plastic plugs as well, which are a bit of a pain to get out. Okay, the next board. A little better value in terms of the chips. Quite a nice little board that, and these are gold plated pins. So that one's a little bit better. That's our HDMI board. Some chips on the back as well. Okay, this is a nice little board. A nice little transformer. And then that again a relay switch. A MOSFET. And again, for a guy like me that's after the copper, this is the kind of boards I like. A couple of big bridges on this one. And there, guys, is our transformer. Some real nice copper wire in here, and again some nice copper bands going around the outside as well. Be interesting to take this one apart. Get a little board here. This one may contain copper in here. I think it probably will because it's ferrite on the outside. Then we've got some bridges, a couple of fuses and the MOSFET. Okay, so here is our main board. Big aluminium heatsink with MOSFETs, as you can see, along the side, just like our last board. We've got all these blue relay switches. We've got another black relay switch here, and then we've got our copper coils, which we will all be removing. Okay, another board, little bridge, multiple fuses and some MOSFETs on the top. Okay guys, we've got everything taken apart now and we're going to do some comparisons. Big transformer from the first one. And that is 3.57 kilos. If we add the little additional transformer, what we've got 3.65 in total for the transformers. Now we come to the Pioneer. And that transformer weighs 5.24 kilos. And again, if we add the little transformer, it is now 5.36 kilos. So pretty good. Couple of big heavy transformers there. So this is all the insulated wire from the first amplifier, and that is 0.12 of a kilo. For the aluminium from the first amplifier, we have 0.57 of a kilo, so just over half. The big one, that weighs 0.77 of a kilogram, so about 770 grams. It's quite a bit bigger. So these were the little copper coils from the Sherwood amplifier, small one, and that's 8.6 grams. Copper coils from the Pioneer amplifier. It's 23.7 grams. We had a couple of relay switches. 21.9 grams for those relay switches from the Sherwood. From the Pioneer. Got 92.7 grams of relay switches. MOSFETs from the Sherwood, that's 87.2 grams. And from the Pioneer, it's 87.5 grams. We also had a couple of little things like a little MOSFET, we also had a couple of little things like a little toroid, but nothing really there to weigh up at the moment. Obviously a little bit of copper, but not something worth weighing.
Just looking.
The lad has
Oh, it's a cameo! Remember when I'm famous?
You alright?
Exactly. Yeah, I have to walk from Birkenstead to the office late.
Did you phone me?
Hmm?
Did you try and phone me?
No. I texted you when I was on the bus back, but
No.
that'll do it.
Cool.
Like a tripod though.
Yeah?
Moving up.
Absolutely, scales and all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big digi scales, right? Yeah, check them out. Why?
That's proper.
Yeah.
Great setup. Right, but
It's all good.
I'm gonna go and get some. Enjoy.
I'm just finishing up anyway, so I'll be in 5 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
Right, lad.
Drinking guidance.
Cheers. Okay, so let's get transformers apart. First one here. Need to remove the metal banding on the outside. Okay, there's our steel base plate, outside band. You see another banding going around this. Hopefully we can just pull off. Okay, that's pretty easy. Okay, and there's our transformer. This will have some kind of paper on the outside which prevents me from seeing if it's all one-sided, and therefore I can just split it with a good smack on one side, or if it's all set up as I's and E's. First of all, we'll get this banding off. Okay, there's our banding. We need to clean that up a little bit, get all this crappy paper off it. We'll do that in a bit. Didn't want to do that. There's a transformer cut in half, as you can see, lovely copper. Lovely copper that side. Bit of a shame on that outcome. But I'll still actually just keep this, and I'll still use this for small transformers. But not great. Okay, so that's that one cut in half. We're going to get the big one sorted too before we take out the copper. Okay, a nice big copper band. It is absolutely welded, as you can see along here, so I do need to break that weld off. There we go. That's what I was hoping would have been the same with the last one, but it wasn't. Okay, all the metal off of that one. Stubborn little pieces. Should really have gloves on doing this. It can be quite sharp, quite easy to cut your fingers with these things. Okay, it's one side. we've done well. This one was broken anyway, but as you can see, it's now properly broken. So we've done well here. We've managed to break 2 tools. Okay, there's our 2 halves. You get all this yellow paper off, see what's underneath there. Okay guys, that's the first transformer taken apart. As you can see, lovely big pile of copper. We've still got this one to take apart to see if there's more copper in there or in that one. Okay, there's our inside layer out. Still got our outside layer with lots of tape. Okay, now got the bottom piece off. I'm going to wedge down the screwdriver down the side, and I'm going to break this internal plastic piece. Okay, just like that. As you can see inside, it's all broken. Should now be able to just pull this off. Do the same on the other side. Okay, and there's all off from the inside. And now I just want to start unwinding it. Alright guys, I'll bring you back when I've cleaned both of these up. Okay guys, so we are going to tear this out and we're going to see how much we got from the second transformer, which was from the Pioneer amp. Now what I would say with this one guys is it was a real pain to get all the tape off, but we got there. Okay, so the total of that one is 813.9 gram. So quarter of a kilo under a kilo. In pounds, that is £1 13.5 ounces. Okay guys, so I put all the copper in this bag just to weigh it up. Now this bag weighs about 30 grams, so we'll take 30 grams off of it. Let's put it here, maybe a bit easier. Tear that out. So that's 1,453.7 grams. So that'll be 1,423.7 grams. Not sure what that'll be when I take it off for the pounds, but pound wise, that is £3 3.3 ounces of copper from those 2 transformers. So there you are guys, a bag full of lovely copper. from those 2 transformers from Amps. So what do you think? Do you think they're as good as taking apart microwaves for the copper? I do. Apart from the fact that there's a lot of cleaning up of the transformer to get all the tape off. So to me, Amps are absolutely worth taking apart. And they're actually pretty good for in terms of additional boards and components as well. The boards aren't high grade boards, they're all low grade boards. But you do get some decent stuff on it. Not a great deal. Most of the things on it are actually these brass jacks. But there are a few little items in there as well, and a couple of additional small transformers as you would have saw as well. Lots of insulated wire, but not a lot of valuable components. A couple of small crystal oscillators, lots of small switches, but apart from that, not a great deal. Do you think they're a good item of scrap? Did you enjoy this episode? If you did, then you know what to do, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, guys, then please do hit that subscribe button, and we will see you on the next episode of Scrapping Scotland. Goodbye for now.